Welcome to Silver Linings for the Golden Years. My name is Sue.
And I'm Christy.
And I'm going to tell you just a little bit about us. I was in sales when I was younger. And then, what year did you open the preschool?
I don't know. It's been about 20 years ago.
About 20 years ago. And I went to work for Christy. Never thought about working with children, but it was one of the best jobs I've ever had. In May of this year, Christy closed her school, and she'll tell you why in just a minute. And it was time to retire. I'll be 79 in a couple of months, so it was time to retire. And I'm just going to be sharing with you some of the things that have made my life easier.
Well, all right, then I'll take it from here. Now, I'm Sue's kid, and I refer to myself as a kid. I'm a 60-year-old kid, so I'm not quite silver linings yet, golden yet, but I do want to enjoy some of the silver linings that Mother has discovered. About a year ago, I had to have emergency surgery, and it ended up a pretty long recovery. So Mother said, come to my house and stay, and I'll take care of you. And at first I thought, I don't want to do that. But I'm so glad I did, because she took really good care of me. I felt like a little kid again. All that was missing was Bob Barker and some chicken noodle soup. And at night she'd look in on me and she'd say, are you okay? It was like, I felt like a little baby, and I'd say, I'm fine. And she'd tuck me in and she'd go off to bed. Well, one morning I got up and I wasn't feeling very well. This was when we still had the preschool open, and Mother had to get to work. So she said, well, come in my room and get in my chair, and you can get comfy in there. So I went in her room. Oh boy, I got in her chair and I didn't want to get out. I felt like Goldilocks. She had so many gadgets and wonderful things, and Mother lives a pretty cozy life, and she's discovered how to live cozy. And I thought, I could get used to this. I like this. So when I ended up going home about a month later, I incorporated some of the things that she had discovered that had made her life so much more, and I hate to use the word cozy a lot, but it's my favorite word. I love to be cozy. So I started off, we'll go up to Mother's room in a little bit, and I'll show you just how she lives cozy and some of the things that she has discovered. They're great.
The first thing I want to tell you about is, now when we start getting older, some things are just harder to do. And Christy lives right next door, so anything I need, or she always helps me, and her husband, they're just great, so I can always call on them. But I needed to keep my own house. She has her house to keep, and so the very first thing that I bought, and this was before I retired, because I began to think, now when I retire, I need to be slowly getting everything I want to go in my house, was a vacuum, a robot. And I started researching them, and I found one that I thought would work for me. So I ordered him. My little grandson was staying with me, and so he named him Humphrey. So when Humphrey got here, we plugged him up, and I thought, well, let's see how this works. And left him overnight. And when we got up the next morning, I said, okay, let's see if he does what they say he can do. So sure enough, I turned him on, and we just stood there amazed. He went from room to room. He covered every inch. He went under the sofa. He went under the chairs. I couldn't have done that good of a job. So he was my answer for vacuuming. All right.
And Mother she is a nut about keeping her house clean.
I am.
Growing up, our house was always spotless. Of course, my sister, and I wish we'd had Humphrey back then, because we were the Humphreys.
It was your job to vacuum.
It was, yeah. Amy dusted, I vacuumed. I wish that, I think you have found a duster. We'll talk about that later. But, I wish we had had these when I was a kid. It would have made my life easier, because every Saturday morning, you could watch Scooby-Doo and those type things, but you had to get your dusting done and your vacuuming done, and we we weren't lazy by any means, but Mother, she loves to keep a good, clean house, and she does. We jokingly call these things that she's discovered her firm because they're employed by her, and they do have names, but they keep her house running smoothly, and it's always immaculate when you come in.
Well, they do. And after I'd had Humphrey for, I'm not sure how long I had him before I ordered my second one, and they all have different features. So if you're even considering one, you need to read all about them and see which one will meet your needs. So I decided I needed another one. I have an upstairs, and I didn't want to confuse Humphrey because he mapped out my house, and I thought, now if I take him upstairs, he's gonna get all confused. So I ordered my second one, and we named him Henry. So Humphrey went up to the second floor, and Henry kept the main floor, and both of them, boy, I love those guys, both of them does an excellent job. But it didn't stop there. I'd had him a little while, and I have a very big back porch, and it has 3 8x10 rugs on it. And so I thought, well, you know, it's about time to get another one. So I moved. Humphrey went to the back porch, Henry went upstairs, and then Mr. French. And he had some great features that the other two didn't have. So of course he keeps the main floor. And you're probably thinking, 3? Would I have to have 3? No, you wouldn't. That's just one thing I can't do. And that's why I have one for upstairs, one here, and one to do my back porch, because I just can't vacuum anymore, and I don't feel right asking the girls to do it. So
And you may live on one level. You might just need one. And
one
you
will do.
don't have to start off with 3.
No, and I didn't start off with 3. As they'd get older, and I'd start looking, and I'd think, well, the first one doesn't have this feature, so, you know, that's
Get retired to the upper level.
But they certainly make my life so much easier, and they do. When you walk in, my floors are clean because they do a much better job than I could do. And I'll be telling you about my mop on our next, what would you call our next episode? Our next
episode. It's just how to improve your quality of life and make life easier for yourself. And my daddy used to always say, work smarter, not harder. And this will help you to work smarter. And you don't have to start off with everything we have.
No.
We'll have the links below so that you can look at it and see what you might need to start with. I might be letting the cat out of the bag, but Mother has a heating pad that, oh man, when I get up in the mornings, I started off with the heating pad and my husband too. I looked one morning and he was sitting there with my heating pad on his back. I usually start off in the morning with the heating pad and at night before I go to bed. So I ordered him his own heating pad, and we love it. And anybody that I've told about it, they love it. It's just a great way. It doesn't have to be a frosty morning, which we're fixing to head into winter, to warm you up, but it just feels good to your bones. It's cozy, and I love it that way. So I started off with that one. Just start off with what you can start off with.
My daddy was a gadget person, and my brother was a gadget person, so I guess I am too. But anything that will help me, because I'm sorry, when you start getting in your late 70s and 80s, things are harder to do. And so I've just found some great things, and they're not expensive. The most expensive thing would be the vacuums. But I'll be showing you different things that I've researched and that I use. And
you can catch those vacuums on sale too sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Like Black Friday's a good time to get them.
Prime time.
Yeah, the Prime days. Mm-hmm.
Because just about everything I have comes from Amazon. And the reason is they bring it right to your door if you're not satisfied with it. I've never had any trouble returning anything. You have, I think, 30 days, and if it's around Christmas, they actually give you until the first of the year. And you might just want to drop a few hints to your children if there's something you see that you know that you would use. So we'll be
Or for the person that you can't buy for, what do you get them? They've got everything. My uncle was that way, and well, we gave him a few of these things, and he loved it. So,
He did, because he had everything, and then I would order it first to see if I used it and I liked it, and if I did, I'd turn around and order him one, because he loved presents.
and he had everything, but
Yeah.
it blessed him. It made his life better
It
and
did.
more comfortable.
Yeah.
So we'll just be sharing this with you on our next episode. Mother will have another goodie to share with you. Thanks for joining, and if you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. We'll tell you what helps us.